Let me just say, at the end of last episode, I made a critical error in judgment. I turned the game off so I could go out because it's a mad hot sunny day. I thought, I want to go out on a bike ride, make the most of this weather. And when I turned the game back on, this game doesn't have any autosaves. It must only save at the beginning of each chapter. So I've also found out there's no way to skip dialogue. So I had to go through everything we saw at the end of last episode again without being able to skip the dialogue. It was truly and utterly devastating, so I'll not be making that mistake again. However, one benefit of doing that is it gave me a chance to eat my Greg's chocolate muffin, which I got when I was out on the bike ride. Lads, can I just say, I don't know if anywhere else in the world, I think it's only a UK thing that we've got a Greg's. I've tasted many different sweets. I love chocolate from all around the globe. And hands down, Greg's chocolate muffin is just the creme de la creme. Right, enough chatting mad shit, let's go. So, these people are gonna go to war unless we stop them. Where are we headed? Are we headed this way? No. We must have to go to the meeting room. See if we can ease tensions between these guys.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
We might have an inside woman. Hopefully.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
The scientific method. The best way.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Fly the shuttle to your objective. Right trigger fly. Backwards. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I'm the commander of this vessel.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
I mean, this thing doesn't go very fast.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Nah, I just don't take it personally. At least I try not to.
That's a very mature answer. Shows a positive attitude on your part. Remind me of it when I start complaining to you about the ship's new first officer.
Oh, he wants to complain about us, does he? I will have you say nothing bad about the first officer. She's an incredible woman. Well, that remains to be seen. I kinda hope your choices really do matter on this, like maybe we can cause a war, or maybe we can get a peaceful resolution.
This is far enough.
I don't know what isn't possible yet.
Transporting the first probe into position. Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. But on the other, she did listen to my advice and use the whole polarity trick to get you through that excursion alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
Yeah, but look at the results, speak for themselves.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
Yeah, what is it? Some sort of shield.
With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean,
Thanks for the
he said
advice.
that about Chovak. Sure.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too. Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
You know, I'd be the best leader Starfleet ever had. Lower decks always have to fix all the problems Command causes. Maybe I'd just save everybody some steps.
Well, don't forget about us little people when you're running things.
Of course not. You gotta remember where you came from.
Yeah, this guy, I don't know why this guy is like acting like he's some sort of authority. As far as I know, he's got no authority, this guy in the blue.
Here, this is close enough. Stop the engines.
I don't want any favors from him.
Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Hotari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Right, give me a look at this.
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more. Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I
Shit.
don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
Oh, this is getting good. I wonder if the Hotari are going to end up
Presently, we
evil.
don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. But one thing is clear.
Well, the
This
commanders.
is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Illydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
I don't know why the Hotari wanted us here, but it wasn't to negotiate.
Clearly, peace is not their intention.
Then what is? Why go through this charade?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
She's worried that her people are being dragged into something that isn't going to end well for them. She's trying to save them.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us?
Power.
There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Given their indifference to the negotiations, and what we now know about this warp-disrupting weapon, it's almost as if they want to start
What they want. They've got power, they want to
and Sidron
exercise
was
it.
convinced the only thing the Illydians respect is force.
I would say he's right about that. But at least they know when to hold back.
But that does not explain why they would turn their aggressions against us.
We're the only force that can
I
stop
don't
them.
think the Illydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Arminta said the revolt defied explanation, that the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm.
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Illydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it.
Looks like a
Tyler,
control panel,
if we
doesn't
needed
it?
to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Don't, you'll don't
Sorry,
do
Captain.
that.
We've lost all contact.
You idiot, you would have exposed her if you did that.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're not
or maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
What the Federation doesn't know won't hurt them.
True.
If I do it right, nobody will know I was there.
Commander, I'm surprised at you.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
What's with the music mixing it so, like, weird?
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
Go on, baby, let's go.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Bro, just use a crowbar. Fixes everything. That looks exactly like the cutting torch.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And crowbar that shit off.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Well, what can I say? I'm good at what I do.
Whoa, I am though, I'm a
I can
beast.
see that.
Come on, start pulling chips.
She didn't like that, what the hell? Bro, I know I'm good at what I do. We're just pulling fuses for fun. Pull them all out. Yeah, baby, look at this. Oh shit, I dropped it.
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Good question.
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
I mean, that is pretty wise, to be fair.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue.
Lads, I'll tell you a bit of advice that you should take with you throughout all of life. Don't go fingering unidentified objects. It doesn't go well.
You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
Well, if it's not natural, then someone might have put it there. It could be a tracking device, some kind of sabotage, or even a bomb.
Which is why we need to get it to the containment lab.
Come on.
I can't make an exception. Not even for you.
Bro.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships.
Don't do that.
Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
Miranda, you gotta be more careful. Someone hears that, they could think you're talking mutiny.
I'm just trying to figure out how we can help.
Yeah, if you call all the ships in, that means they're going to get trapped here as well. Especially when we don't know what it is. You don't want to do that. You do not want to bring them into the system.
Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core.
Yeah, baby.
Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
She is wetter than an otter's pocket.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she
Mate.
might have changed her mind.
Nah.
But I guess this whole situation has her spooked.
A woman loves a man who can
Maybe
pull a
she
load
knows
of
more than
fuses.
us. Or it's because this is all happening so fast. But she usually doesn't scare easy.
It is her job, though.
Well, of course she's taking it seriously, but that's her job. When she's on duty, she's gotta be on the lookout for danger.
Yeah, but talking about sending a distress call on her own, that's going too far. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
Not that, not that. That's it.
.2% match.
Got it.
What is it? Tacon Empire.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Tacon Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Tacon were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Tacon technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Tacon is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
I can't speculate about how much they know, but one thing's for sure. They know how to use it.
Indeed.
Which might explain how they seized control of the mines.
And targeted us with a weapon that prevents warp travel.
Computer, what is the last recorded discovery of other Tacon artifacts?
On Stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Tacon outpost in the Delphi Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 63, Guardian of the Tacon Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
That's awesome how it referenced Picard.
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
I want to know about this guy, Portal 63.
Someone from the Tacon Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 63, Guardian of the Tacon Empire?
The entity known as Portal 63 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Tacon Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Tacon outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
I mean, it could be telepathy, or it could just be like another means of communication like we use mobile phones, you know what I mean? We just don't know. It's all speculation.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi-Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence.
Yeah, it's all starting to add up.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi-Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
The Elydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
For now, it's probably best we don't let on how much we know.
Play our cards close to the vest. Smart. I agree. Then when the time is right, we can confront them.
Diplomatically, of course.
Right.
We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
We need to know what's down there. What the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against. And to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side.
Unlucky.
However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau.
Yeah, I'm in.
Assuming
I'm
you're
balls
up to the
deep in it.
task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'm ready for action, Captain. Just say the word and I'll be there.
I'll admit, I wish I could go myself. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
It's a risk we have to take. We need to know what we're up against.
Agreed. And of course you'll have the full support of the Resolute throughout.
We must take every precaution.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Elydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime? Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
We got this, girlfriend. My middle name is Stealth.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar, where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it.
Oh,
Security
no.
never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Diaz, Tamaris.
Oh, she better not be a traitor.
Carter Diaz to Miranda Maris.
Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
Mate, you need to take back up.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
Are you kidding me? What if she's a spy? Not that I don't know why a motive would... Yeah. Something's going on here, I don't know why I wouldn't take back up.
Someone improperly pulled these isolinear chips.
This guy needs to set his phaser to obliterate.
Who did this?
Call for backup now, let them know before you get assassinated. We need to get this information out ASAP. Silent. Don't give your position away. Right. Keep your eyes open, mate.
What the?
Oh, it's just you. I'm busy right now. Why don't you come back later?
Oh, do you think she'd be mind control or something?
I called you on the comm badge. Twice. Commander Westbrook, too. Why didn't you answer?
Oh, I guess I was just caught up in my work.
Mate, you need to donkey punch her in the back of the head.
But
Don't trust her.
I'm through here, so I can't stay and chat. I have
Stop
other
her.
things to do.
Really need to choke.
Sorry you came all this way for nothing.
Was someone else messing around in here? There were a bunch of ISOs pulled out on the lower level, and these here. Or was that you?
I didn't see anyone, but I'll report it. A team will come to investigate.
Bullshit.
Look, I appreciate that you came to check on me, but I'm fine. You worry too much. We're on a starship. Nothing's gonna happen to me here.
That's not the only reason I'm here. That crystal formation you took never made it to the containment lab. Westbrook sent me to find you. To find out what happened.
Will you drop it? I don't like being interrogated, Carter.
Chinna.
Hey!
Sure you can. Mate, what's he doing? Bro, she would be face down, knocked out, KO if this was me.
I'm getting some very mixed signals from you right now.
Here's that set to obliterate. Go on.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Just tell Chovak or whoever I don't know where the crystals are, and let me go about my business.
No.
I know we have some things to figure out.
Tell them
I
yourself.
don't have time to stand around and debate with you.
If you won't give me a straight answer, you can tell them yourself.
This doesn't concern you, so I'm good with that.
Miranda, hold on.
No. Get out of my way.
No chance. Go on. Drop kick. Drop kick. Come on, baby. Headbutt. Oh, who are these guys?
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Oh, what do you think? I'm just fighting for fun, you
Let's
idiot.
just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
She attacked me.
That's ridiculous.
And tried to get away with this. She was copying data onto it. I caught her in the act.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed.
Where are the crystals?
Even if that was true, it still doesn't answer what happened to the crystal formation that she took. And she isn't helping.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I brought them where they belonged, and that's where I left them.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record. Miranda, maybe you're feeling out of sorts and we should head to sickbay so the doc can check you out?
No. She's going to the brig.
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
You two know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first. But what I know is this is a security breach, and we should treat it as such.
Security.
Just let me go see the doctor.
No.
She did have a bumpy ride back on the shuttle.
This is gonna put everybody at risk. She needs to go out of the brig.
Diaz. I need a security team to deck 5.
This is unbelievable.
Listen, we must stay focused, brothers. And I am playing games, homie. Sometimes your decisions can be clouded by the vagina. Don't let it happen. What lies beneath? Hey, this game's pretty good. I'm enjoying it, you know. It's a bit slow paced, but it's like watching a movie. I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I don't think your choices actually matter in this game. Maybe they do, but so far I don't think they do.
Rydick here.
This is Ermont. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you'd better learn to like shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Understood. Rydick out.
Cool looking planet this. Cool looking mine.
The ionic interference is coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
Let's remain stealthy. I don't know if this is classed as stealth. There she is. Come on, baby.
I saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
Thank you for agreeing to this. You've already taken risks on our behalf. It means a great deal that you would do so again.
If it's for my people, no risk is too great.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Are you sure you want to do that? I know she's helping us, but we don't want to be too open, do we? This could be a trap.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible. But explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Takan.
The Takan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, but they've been gone for over 600,000 years.
It's hard to believe there's something like that on Tau.
Which is why I need proof. If we find hard evidence that Galvin and his allies are hiding dangerous Takan technology, I can convince the Federation to let us intervene.
Understood. We're almost there.
What a beautiful looking atmosphere in the planet.
That's the mine?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
The structure that circles the mine has entry points for transporting equipment into the lower levels. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Well, that's good to hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door.
Do we not have like cloaking devices in this universe? Would that not just be the easier option?
How dare you! Don't you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you tried to deny me entry.
The Queen? But I just...
You just what? Just now realize the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well, to someone much further up the ladder. You have no authority here. Do you understand?
I can't claim this.
I can inform the Queen directly of this instance.
There's no
You'll
need
regret
for...
everything you've said here today. You should have opened the doors the second I appeared.
What is
before.
this?
That's not...
The try-recorder will beep when you are near a scannable object.
Be recorded, processed, and permanently marked.
Force field. Looks like it was installed recently. No safe way around it.
I have orders.
How could a fellow degree not understand?
Not going that way.
I've reached the end of my patience. Escort me to the maintenance bay.
I told you I can't just...
Now!
But fine.
Someone takes their breaks up here. Maybe the same guard who left that window unlocked.
Be quick.
I suppose the view is nice.
Well, let's go, baby. What? Oh, this shit here. Ah, right, okay. I get it, I get it.
Okay. Let's get a look inside you.
Prevents solid matter from passing through. No shit, Sherlock. Aha. Signal receiver.
Full system access. Let's see if I can just... Bingo.
Shazam! Bro, hacking expert. Look at the skills.
Better hurry. Not sure how long she can keep him busy.
Come on, let's make haste.
Might be rigged to only open for registered users.
Yeah, we'll
no
see
control
about that.
panel here. I should take a look with my tricorder.
I see it, baby. I like how we can still walk in this mode. That's cool. This is it.
Got it. Should remove the security check on the door.
Oh, look at us. Look at us go. They're awesome mining machines. How long would it take to mine a planet with something of that size and that ability? Right, what are we doing? Frame rate's dog shit though, lads. Yeah, that looks awesome.
I didn't come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it? I'm used to having to throw my weight around. Hard to get anyone to listen to you otherwise.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your
bet.
peril.
True.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
I've got an idea.
The machine and get us control of the lift.
Got an idea.
That's the theory. Let's test it.
Bro, I already know how we're going to solve this. Right, what I need you to do is, I need you to go to the men's toilets. And anybody that comes through, you just offer them a hand job. Or a sucky, anything you want. And keep the DNA, bring it back here, and we'll get through. Is that a good deal? Good deal? Andy Shandy? No? Denied. She's not happy with that.
No luck. Unless this console thinks I'm a Hotari guard, it won't work.
The guards work out of that building back there. Might have some DNA.
I'll just hack it. Bro, I'm the hacking master. Alright, come on, let's go and get some DNA.
What's in all these containers?
These contain mining supplies, tools, energy packs for machinery.
Shouldn't mining supplies be inside the mines?
It is troubling. If the workers here aren't mining...
Yeah, what if they're dead?
There's DNA on this console, but it's only partial. I can't use this.
Maybe because we're outside.
The weather out here could dilute any DNA samples.
What about inside that structure? That's where the workers spend most of their time.
Alright, okay, let's go. We got this.
Wow, that is a lot of DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots. Hygiene clearly isn't a priority down here.
Can't seem to do anything with that. Fuck, it doesn't work. I can't put this fucker away now. Bro, this doesn't work. Lads, I'm actually stuck in this mode. Lads, I couldn't do anything. I actually can't do anything. I think the game's bugged. No way. Lads, if the game's bugged, right? That means we have to start the episode over again. No. No way. Bro, I can't close the holster. To holster. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Even the keyboard doesn't work. Game's fucked. Can you believe that? Lads, the game is fucked. I am not going through this whole thing again. I'll tell you that for fucking free. Actually broke. Can't leave the menu. Hold on. We're gonna have to Google this shit. What's this called? Star Trek. Star Trek what? Star Trek Resurgence. Stuck in scan. Oh my god, surprise, surprise, it's not even me. And it's definitely the game's fault because someone's had this problem on the PS5. Exploring the mines, searching for the DNA, tricorders, beeping activated, I'm not able to scan the area. I restarted that section and looked at all the things in person and opened the locker before pulling out my tracker and it worked. I had to reload the area. Does that mean the whole area? How do we... Bro. How do we even... Main menu? Lads, what? This is going to start the whole fucking area again, isn't it? It's what a dog shit. Okay, that's not actually that bad. It's not actually that bad because we're here. Oh, I thought it was like the bit before this that we had to do. Right, come on then, we can get this done ASAP. So, we'll follow that advice some legend online has given us, is explore everything first. Like, click on all of the things manually, and then try scanning. Bro, how do you mess up that in the game? And you can't even skip dialogue.
I didn't
Why?
come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that
Yes,
guy
it's me.
have-
I'm here. I was seeing this
worked,
shit.
didn't
Can
it?
we skip, please? No skipping allowed.
Gotta admit, I'm a little afraid of you now.
I didn't even want to say that. Oh, for
You're lucky we're on the same side.
I'd say so.
Jesus. Lads, I need to do that again because that's not what I said originally. Tell you what, I've got a better idea. I am just going to see you in like a fraction of a second and we'll be at the point because save us watching all this shit actually can't be bothered. Oh my god. It's funny, right? Because it's things like this, even though it's technically, this is technically a minor inconvenience, right? It's really spoilt me playing the game. This is why there should be checkpoints. There's no reason why this game can't have checkpoints. I've noticed games like this tend to just restart the chapter instead of giving you a checkpoint. It never just rely on that. You should always have a manual save or just a check. Every time like I walk over here, boom, should initiate a checkpoint. But it should save a couple of checkpoints. So if a bug does happen, you can at least go back and not lose too much progress. Game developers, some game developers don't put as much thought into their games to allow that because they must know that their game's got a high probability of having a bug because no game developer is perfect. So that's why you use save games to mitigate that.
It worked, didn't it?
I'm
used to
impressed.
having to throw my weight around.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me.
Oh my god, yes.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
Want to get some
The
jizz off the
ionic
computer
interference is coming
keyboard?
from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
Right, let's
That's
go.
the theory. Let's
Okay,
test it.
so we know what we're doing. If there's bugs out here, the game can actually go and fuck itself. Right, so we're going to click on everything first. Apparently.
Hygiene clearly isn't a priority down here. Some kind of glowing mineral being used as a light source. Might
It's one
want
of-
one of these for my cabin, actually.
Bro, these mineral things are they're like salt. Well, you can buy them in real life. Like big salt things and they put a light in them like, oh, it's going to heal your chakras and bullshit like that. Bro,
Leftovers.
it's a fucking salt lamp. It's not healing shit. Put it on your fish and chips.
Almost looks like coffee. Almost. I'll have some Ractagino when I get back to the ship.
Ractagino.
If they eat in here, it's likely there's some DNA in the room.
Bro.
Hotari must be tough on the inside, too.
Right. Right, this is looking good. We've done everything. So, tricorder.
Wow, that
Scan
is a
some
lot of
shit.
DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots.
I mean, that's purple. Does purple just mean we've done it?
There's gotta be stable DNA here.
Okay. Got it.
That's a stable DNA sample. It's only partial, but a few more should do it.
We can't change modes on that. Only lets you do it if there's a match.
I can use this. Good. That's another I could use. Just need one more sample. Promising.
We need his drawers. Find the boxer shorts. Yeah. Got it.
Perfect. That's enough to make the DNA profile. Time to go back to the lift.
We got him, baby. Let's go.
It worked.
Theory proven.
I'll get it started.
Ready?
I'm a little afraid of what we might find down there.
We'll be okay. I've survived worse than this.
Well, I haven't. But I'll put my faith in you. For now.
Where is she? Oh, this looks awesome.
No, stay back. There's a guard at the station. You'll have to hide.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You watch your tone with me. I'm Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait.
Jues Gawad Abawincha.
Let me go!
Oh, look at that! Oh, he shot her, no way. Mission failed. Shoot the guard before Tylus is killed. Why don't know what the fuck? They never told me to shoot anyone. What the hell? Come on now. They never told me that.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Watch your tone with me. I'm Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait.
Jues Gawad.
Phaser set to stun.
Are you alright?
I don't know.
Are you injured?
No, I thought if I could talk my way through like always, I'd be fine, but... I'm a diplomat. This isn't what I do. I've never even fired a weapon. This is just... It's real now. I wasn't ready for this.
Tylus, you can do this.
I don't see what you're basing that on.
All you've shown me so far is an iron-willed determination to save your people.
True.
I don't expect that's changed.
No. No, it hasn't. My authority has never been challenged like that. It meant nothing to him.
So we should assume any Hotari we encounter from here on can't be reasoned with.
Agreed. The only loyalty they have down here is to Galvin and Sidron.
Can you switch over the lift?
The guard should have a scan card that will allow us to operate the switch.
Got it.
He's not dead, is he? He's still one of my people, and I didn't come here to take Hotari lives.
My phaser's set to stun. He'll be perfectly fine, just unconscious for a while.
I see. We don't have that sort of technology on our weapons.
Good to know.
It is good to know, so if you get shot by the Hotari, it's lethal.
energy readings are emanating from this tunnel. It's sure to be guarded in there. Stay low and follow my lead.
Infiltrate the mine, right? Hold on just 1 second, lads, because I need to figure out if it's saved or not. No, it hasn't. Bro, these save games, these checkpoints are like wildly out of like anything. Right, we'll keep going. We'll have to wait till we get to the end of the chapter.
Is that all dilithium?
Not all of it. We excavate large chunks of rock that contain varying amounts of dilithium ore. It's sorted and processed at the collector ship above.
More guards.
I take that as a sign we're getting close.
I'll get a closer look. Looks like they've improvised a barrier.
Yes, we must be getting closer.
We need that particular card, don't we?
I'm afraid so.
I could sneak in and ninja that.
We don't have time to wait for them to finish whatever they're doing. We'll have to try to keep low and sneak past them.
I'm starting to see the utility of a phaser.
I wouldn't stand a chance against all three of them. Can you open that door?
Not without that scan card.
I don't like our options here. I have to get us that card so we can open the door.
How? If they detect you, Galvin and Sidron's followers are clearly willing to kill to protect whatever's in this mine.
Hey, I'm trained for this. I'll be fine.
What should I do?
Just
Avoid
chill.
being seen. Stick to the edge of the room and meet me at the door.
Look at her, she's like Spider-Man. Right, watch this. Let's get the phaser ready. During stealth sequences, there are enemies that, if alerted, will hunt for you and try to catch you. If you're caught, your mission has failed, so we're not allowed to use the phaser, which is ridiculous. Right, this guy can't see shit.
It's coming along.
Oh good, we can move a bit fast, I didn't realise that. We can move fast and stay crouched. And it's still classed as stealth. Good, good, good.
And we'll complete the plan more quickly. Good. Good.
Got him. Now where's the door?
What was that? It's so dark in here.
You didn't see shit though.
Wait. I'm not worried. He's led us well so far. It's a miracle we're even here.
I'd melt if I went through there.
For so long.
Keep moving.
Patience, brother. We'll get our chance. It's inevitable after all. That it is. I get all the grunt work.
I've got no idea where I'm going, as I've lost all sense of direction. Ah, my friend. Bling bling.
Stay close.
Yeah, they've got a security door here. What's this? Look.
Stop!
What?
Motion sensors. They'll trigger an alarm. We'll be found.
Invisible to the naked eye.
They could be anywhere. How will we get through?
Watch this. Also, we just walk through like this? Yeah, baby. That's a problem. We can see them with it. Bro, invisible to the naked eye, I can clearly see them. Death. Is that the colour of their blood, do you think? Oh, it's the other people. Yeah, their blood's blue. The massacre.
This...
It's where the uprising started. Hotari don't do this. We defend ourselves, but we don't kill on this scale, this level of savagery.
There's no such thing as a bloodless rebellion.
I don't know if we should keep going. So much death. I don't want to end up like them.
We'll make sure they didn't die for nothing. What we learn here could save the rest of your people.
Okay.
Come on, sister, we got this.
Whatever happened here, it made the Illydians abandon the mines. Let's find out what they're so scared of.
The Illydians.
From the blast marks, it looks like the Illydians had far greater firepower. Tylus.
There's the crystals.
What kind of weapon did this?
This is like nothing I've ever seen or heard of. My people don't have a weapon that does this.
What else can you tell me?
Shit. Right, let's scan this. Crystal growth. Lydian flesh.
What an awful way to die. This must be why the Illydians are so afraid. Technology that surpasses their own, in the hands of the Hotari that they've lorded over for centuries.
Where did this weapon come from?
Well, the crystals are giving off tetrametric pulses. If I set my tricorder to search for that frequency, it'll lead us right to the source.
Radiation is visible through your tricorder. This will lead the way to scannable objects. The 4 green lights on the left will fill to indicate the tricorder is facing the source of radiation. Okay. That's it. I see it's this vehicle. How do we get there though?
This Elydian tried to run.
They didn't let him.
There it is, that's it.
The Elydian's shot to kill.
But if they killed him, why was he shot in the back?
Huh, you're right. The shot came from the side the Hotari were defending.
We don't kill our own. And he wasn't just caught in the middle.
Yeah, this is a power grab. The miners didn't just think they could save themselves. They thought they could take over, gain power from their own people.
Think they parked this here on purpose?
One way to find out.
Need any help?
I've got it.
This concentration of tetrametric radiation has never been recorded. Whatever they're hiding, it's right through here.
I'm dying to see what it is.
This feels strange.
The crystals are increasing, growing outward, replacing the soil.
It's like an infection. A parasite. Growing inside Tau.
Incredible.
This is definitely not Hotari.
It's the remnants of the Takan Empire.
Looks like the force field that's stopping us from leaving or entering hyperspace.
I don't think we should be here.
This is exactly where we should be. Every strange thing we've seen in this system, it might all come from this room. We need to learn everything we can.
Right, hold on. I need to figure out. Right, good news is we've got a recent save game. Like right there. Okay, so I think I know when the game saves. It's a tiny little icon that appears in the bottom right hand corner. I want to call it an episode there, lads, because I need to go and eat some food. And I'll see you straight back with another one, and we'll find out what really is going on in this room and what this technology is. Hope you enjoyed the episode, lads. See you in the next one.